Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back with you live after a Sunday night, Big Brother, and I'm very excited to talk about a 90-minute episode tonight. A lot of stuff to get to. We've got a great panel here with us tonight, and back with us here for the first time in BB26. The incredible Jacob Jones is here. Jacob, how are you?
I am doing amazing. Another Big Brother season. Another time where my energy is put into debaucheryness, nonsense, and silliness. And this episode was fully equipped of all of those things.
The big three.
The big three. We're the big three tonight. Big Brother provided the big three in entertainment today. And the world provided as well. So
yes, lots of power shifts going on all over the place. Of course, here with us tonight, it was a supersized episode of Big Brother. We needed somebody who could go the distance. It was going to be a late night, and so who better than to bring in the champion of the RHAP pressure cooker, Frail Mary Kwiatkowski. Mary, how are you?
Woo! I need Lisa to rub some glitter on my arms, you know.
Yes. Okay. Did you need any physical therapy after the pressure cooker? Don't do it. Don't do it, Cam.
I feel like, some people, maybe Sak Puya or somebody would be advocating against that.
Yes. Okay. So we had a wild weekend of Big Brother. Of course, Taran chronicled so much of it over the weekend on the live feed update. Taran is not with us tonight, these next couple of Sunday nights. Taran, of course, we brought home the Scripted TV podcasting, and Taran is doing a ton of work over there on RHAP. We know Scripted TV, and Taran is with Grace Leader recapping tonight's House of the Dragon. So you can hear Taran at robinswebsite.com/scripted by subscribing to our Scripted TV podcast feed. And he'll be back with us in the morning for the live feed update. But we get the pleasure of talking about this very fun episode here tonight. We'll take your questions in the chat later on in the show. I am very excited as well on Monday when we have the season premiere of our patron-only show about all of the nonsense, The Slop. Jacob? That's what we do. Okay?
I didn't need the slurping.
Lots of stuff to talk about, stuff we can't talk about on the main feed. I'm very excited to announce also that Chappelle will be joining me to co-host The Slop all season long. Episode number 1 of The Slop. And there's a lot of sloppy stuff to talk about. We'll be live 6 p.m. Eastern on Monday. It's a patron-only show, robinswebsite.com/patron. All right. Let's get into this. I thought this was a fun first, especially after the first 2 episodes that we had. Mary, what'd you think tonight?
I thought it was interesting. You know, I forgot for half a second that it was going to be an hour and a half long. So I was like, wow, are we not getting the HOH? But then I remembered we're all good. So it was fine. You know, we covered a lot. I think that there were a few things I was expecting them to show that they didn't, things that may or may not be important based on everything else we've seen this week. But we also got a lot in there. So I think there were some things that we had been wondering, having not seen on feed. So this was good to see.
And I don't think we need to be so precious with the spoilers of the actual show, in that Angela is in the midst of an all-time historic first week as HOH. One of the all-time greats. It has been super messy, and it's all over the place. And I think Wednesday night is going to be a great episode of Big Brother, where we're going to get to see the TV version of these events. But I think that the show did a really good job of chronicling this descent into madness. Jacob, well, what's your thoughts on Angela as a whole?
Angela as a whole is a lot. I for one think, so we know about her big outburst that they're going to show on Wednesday night's episode, but I feel like everything else in this episode led up to it, coming from immediately when they introduced themselves, immediately in the competition, to immediately going in rooms saying, oh, y'all work gameplay, kissing. I was like, oh, she was a tick, 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 boom from the get-go. And she just took a couple more days to tick tock, and then we finally got that first boom. But we're due for another one very soon, I feel.
Yeah, Mary, because we came in for when the live feed started. It was day 3, and we got some stuff here tonight from day 1, day 2, prior to where we jumped in with the live feeds.
Yes, yeah, we did, and I was just thinking about what you were talking about with the HOH and Angela's descent. I have to do some more research into this because I'm curious based on the first HOHs of the last several seasons. It feels like for the most part they fall into one of two categories. One is very typical. We get our 8 to 9 person alliance, kind of lock it in. It's a lot of the athletic people. We're good to go. And then there's the other one, because I don't know about you, but I see this and I'm like, wow, this is harkening back to maybe some Frenchiness from a few years ago. It feels like there's this a person comes in, plays way too hard, way too fast, gets sleep deprived and delirious, and does not believe a single person, and is constantly just going back and forth in their head. And I think we saw from this whole episode how maybe Angela got there, but that's what it's reminding me of.
Yeah, this has been so fun, and I think that the show is really having some fun. I think a little bit at Angela's expense as well. I felt like that Matt is getting a very sympathetic edit so far.
Yes.
Jacob, what'd you think about Matt and how he's being presented to the TV audience?
So I am actually enjoying Matt a little bit. Do I think that he did deserve what he got with Miss Angela? Absolutely not. But do I think opening up your mouth first week, couple days to people who you don't even know their last names to talking about the HOH isn't the smartest decision?
Yeah.
Do I feel like the RHAP is going to be the Matt is in for some shit. And I think he just should have kept Angela's name out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a very good point, Jacob, because I think that when we first had the feeds turn on back on Thursday night, it was a lot of like, Matt's in the storage room. Matt's talking to everybody. Matt's gaming. And we almost got it like, whoa, Matt is playing crazy. And Mary, we didn't really get to see that side of Matt trying to put any, and that happened in the time frame of this episode because that was pre-nominations.
Yes, it was. That was early on, and it's weird that they're hiding that because, as we know, Big Brother likes to pick people that it thinks are going to go far and give them a positive edit.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some historical precedent to see why we might not be getting that. Instead, the story we were really told tonight from Matt was, oh, Matt, he's maybe not making the smartest decisions and maybe is a little naive, but Angela is reading into everything he's saying and blowing it out of proportion, and the punishment's not fitting the crime here, is what we were shown. Poor attractive Matt, he's not going to be in a showmance. How dare anyone say that? No, that's the edit we got. I think there was clearly some fault on Angela's part for a lot of what was going on there with that as well. But it's interesting that they're not showing us Matt also equally gaming very, very hard, especially in the beginning. And I think Matt was doing probably what he thought he should have, just, I got to build my own coalition, got to build my own big alliance. And we saw some people, Quinn, to name some names as well, doing some things that would normally be considered like a pretty typical good gameplay. And maybe in this season, it's just not going to work.
Yeah. Overall, this was an interesting story that they told because it really was focused on the Angela and the Matt. And we know where this is going. But in terms of like these nominations that we came away with by the end of the episode, Lisa, Chemo, and Kenney. First, Chemo, not even in the episode. Didn't even see him. We saw Kenney, and there was a little bit of Angela. Boy, Kenney really exposed himself of what, not like that, not here. That he really, he's so good at sliding the discs. Even though he completely overshot the thing. I don't even know, this was not like this dominant physical performance of like, gotta put Kenney on the block for that. And Lisa, who I guess put edible glitter on too many things. Those are your nominations.
Yeah. The Lisa one
some
at
of
least
them were
seemed to
accurate.
be right. Yeah.
Yes.
That one. Yeah, it seemed to be that a lot of people were getting this particular vibe from Lisa of being either annoying, just awkward, or hard to read. Or like we heard, especially Leah, think that she was trying to game a lot with the glitter thing. The guys outside thought that that Lisa was trying to taunt them by purposefully calling them in for breakfast when they were on slop. So I don't know. I mean, I don't really think that Lisa meant anything by any of that.
I don't think so either. I don't think she's playing on that level. Jacob, so Lisa brought with her into the house edible glitter. Now, from where I'm sitting, isn't all glitter edible in some way?
No, Rob, because I feel like if you go to certain parties, then I feel like then you will have glitter, and if you get them in your lung, you will easily be coughing it up. You could tell when glitter's in your like. You
haven't done enough arts and crafts, Rob. If you
honestly,
think that
Rob, or you haven't gone to the right places.
I have not. That's
another catch. And so I never would eat glitter or edible glitter, and I also wouldn't appreciate it on me. And so, do I get the annoyance of it? Yes. Do I get? Would that paint a target on Lisa to me? I'd be like, okay, Lisa, take this somewhere else. Not for me. I'm good on that. I just think Lisa is just in her own bubble.
There's a restaurant near me that puts edible glitter on almost everything, and it's kind of annoying because it turns everything just sort of gray. It like you're drinking your hot chocolate and it's got whipped cream and edible glitter, and then it just kind of like turns the glitter all not the best. Don't love it. And I would not want someone putting something edible on me either. Like, don't put it on my face.
Oh, the ants.
Oh, the ants love the edible glitter. Could you put an edible glitter in slop? Is that an allowed condiment for the slop?
Well, that should. If Lisa's in the house, honestly,
should be allowed.
Could be like a little salt. Or I don't know how her edible glitter tastes, but
is it glittery later?
Oh, interesting.
I don't know.
I wonder when it's cut, is it glittery?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I guess it would. I don't know.
So we're being set up with another big battle that's going on between the battle of the chefs. We had our introductions from everybody. Finally, by the third episode, we get to see everybody go around and say who they are. And very quickly, we get the battle between Tucker versus Lisa. Who's the real chef of the house?
Lisa, obviously. Because I can only mix protein with so many things where it tastes good. And so I would give it to Lisa, to be honest. And I liked her confidence. She challenged Rob and she said, challenge, accepted, let's go. I want to see who can make the better dinner or breakfast.
My question is, did we miss out on, did we know that Kenney was going to come in and say that he was a food truck guy? And then why is he not in the competition for third chef?
Yeah. He's not even trying. Maybe he forgot it's part of his cover to try to make this work, because here comes Kenney into the house and he tells us this.
Got into the concession business and food truck business. I kind of go by Sweet Kenny K, and it was for the sweet Italian sausages, right? A big sausage part.
Kenny. Take it easy, okay?
No, honestly,
my guy.
Come on. I was at the fair this weekend, actually, in Brooklyn, and I had me a sweet summer sausage. Now, if the sausages that Kenney's selling taste like any of the sausages that I just had this weekend, I'm buying.
What do you think is more believable? Coming in, announcing all of that information in one breath, or saying, oh yeah, I work in concessions, and then wait till someone asks some questions like, oh, what kind of food? Sausages. oh, that's cool. Yeah, my food truck. It's actually, they call me Sweet Kenny K. I feel like that's more believable. It just seems like he came up with a character and he's like, wait, hold on, Dungeon Master, I've got my character. I'm a food truck guy, and I'm from Boston, and this is my name.
All right, let's see if it worked. Roll your dice, Mary.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like he's coming Sullivan with his backstory all pre-written. That's not how normal people. Well, okay, I should say all of the introductions always seem so bizarre on Big Brother, because the only other time that some people do this is when you like first go to college or something, and you're all meeting people in the dorms, and you're sitting around, you're like, okay, so who's single? What's your major? That's the only other time that people just stand up and announce their like, dating prospects or whatever.
Very true.
Okay, so I'm really wondering though, is there more to this story? Like, is this a real thing? Because it's being presented as, okay, well, Kenney is an undercover cop. He's not actually in the concession business. He's not actually sweet Kenney K selling his Italian sausages. But after the challenge, he told us this.
I think sweet Kenney K might have overcooked his sausage.
Okay.
But you're not really a food truck guy.
He's sticking it and no one is telling him otherwise.
Do you think, is this like the production, like giving him, is this like his like before the wife that they're just going to work into sausage metaphors because that's what he's trying to tell people?
But this would make sense if he's making cop metaphors or like undercover. Like this is like when you play like I don't know, a mafia style game or something, and then you forget that you're the bad guy because you've gone so into your character, your fake character, where you start like really believing what's going on. Like you don't.
Donnie Brasco.
I don't need sausage metaphors the whole season. Let's hope Kenney gets out.
Well, Mary, it might not be the whole season. That's the one saving grace for you.
Yeah, bring back Summer of Steve. I would at least like that better.
Summer of Sausage 2024.
Oh, good.
Maybe.
So, everybody went around. We had some interesting introductions. Anything strike you from Yes, Mary?
Yeah, the one I bulleted is Angela. She's ready to have the summer of her freaking life with every single one of them. And I'm like, oh, girl, you were going to be eating those words in about 2 days when you talk about wanting to spend time with every one of you except for you, Matt.
Angela was into it. She was bringing the energy. She was excited. They slowed it down. They replayed it.
All she needed was 2 beers to smash, and then smash against her head. That's what type of time Angela. This is Angela's spring break trip, away from the kids, away from the husband. That's kind of what she said.
Yeah,
this is like, whoa, like this is her Mardi Gras right here, and I think we are going to get everything that Angela has been. Just not been doing for the past however many years, all in 3 months or in however long she's staying in the house. I think we're going to get it all from her. This is a lady that wants to break loose, and we're seeing it all. I'm excited.
That's interesting. Okay, so this is like some sort of like a Vegas trip for Angela. She's like, in real life, she's like very reserved. She's at the bachelorette party, Mary, and she hasn't been out of the house too much lately, and it's just going sideways.
Yeah, and it's the exact trajectory of someone who goes a little overboard at the bachelorette party, because phase 1, everyone's like, oh, it's so cool to have Angela here. She seems so fun. It's going to be so cool to have this vibe around. And then like the next morning when they're crying on you and being hysterical, that's when you would say like, oh, maybe you should just maybe you should take the day off, just nap in here or whatever. But then the second you walk out of the room, Angela's like, wow, they don't even like me anymore. So there's really nothing good you can do in this scenario.
I want to follow Angela a little bit more. So Angela, that they all go into like the it's a little bit weird that people are showering and we're all just like hovering around the people that are showering. I guess people were afraid to break off, but yet Cam's showering. I believe T-Core was showering, and while they were showering, we had Matt, who is he's one of the have-nots.
Yeah,
no, he was not. He was not.
Like all of the. A lot of the guys besides
Tucker,
Matt.
Chemo, Cam, Quinn.
Yes.
But they're talking about like, okay, some of these guys are going to potentially have some issues with their back, their hip flexors. But don't worry, Cam is a physical therapist, okay? And so he could fix anything that goes wrong. But Angela says, nah.
It's probably like tighter hip flexors or maybe like your glutes or something. I feel like because I do this so much.
Don't do anything for him until after the game.
Ooh, that's savage, Angela.
No, I do feel like that comment right there, I could 100% see myself making. Feel like I've made comments like that before. So that alone, but you have to instantly follow it up with the, I'm just kidding. Like instantly. She waited too long. She kept going with it. And then she ended up, I mean, everything out of Angela's mouth is like if you stopped right after the first thing, might be okay. But then you double, triple, quadruple down.
But I also think this is what you get when you place a lady that is not in the age demographic of Matt with Matt and to see how they will interact. It's very awkward to me because this isn't something that they do either on any realm of the spectrum for however many years they've been on this earth. And so it's just very funny to see Angela go into those areas of where she doesn't know to reel it in, but when you actually should reel in for the benefit of your game, you just like, I'm joking. All right, get over it. Let's go. It's very quirky, I would say. It's one of her quirks.
Yeah, she's going to get quirkier because then she follows up with Matt about what she meant by that, and that, Matt, such a good-looking guy. She knows what's coming for Matt.
You're eye candy. You know what's going to happen.
What are we talking about?
You know you're going to get a showman's here. We all know it. Yeah, you.
I'm stereotyping you because you're handsome.
I saw a couple ladies here that might want your ass.
They want his ass and they're going to hurt his hip. That's what we've heard.
Yeah, that's that. I've seen some of these ladies are gonna do some damage to that hip flexor, Matt.
Honestly, Matt, this is sounding like very floaty activity, very stool activity, and this is sounding very at the end of the season versus at the beginning.
That's locker room talk, Mary. Yeah. I got to bring you in on that. Sometimes the guys are like, "Oh man, my hip flexors are shot," if you know what I mean.
I mean, I'm sure that I just can't think of it right now, but this is probably the earliest I've heard of people not just being like, oh, you might get in a showmance, or there might be some people interested, or you might flirt, but going straight to they're going to break your hip, basically. And I'm like, whoa, this is like, I mean, at what point did we talk about the prophylactics last season? That was
several weeks.
That was
several weeks
farther in, like
literally
whatever
7
days this was.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this sentence has ever been said before.
I saw a couple ladies here that might want your ass.
Has a 52-year-old lady ever met a 26-year-old man and said that sentence?
Ooh. Well, she's trying to help out her homegirls in the house, Rob. She's being like, I know some ladies that will put it down on you.
Now, I guess wanting your ass is different than getting your ass, because that's usually not a compliment.
He's gonna get your ass. Yeah.
He's gonna get your ass. It's different.
It's nice.
Yeah. And Matt was like very offended by this.
Well, I think Matt was not. He was probably like, look, showmance, maybe, who knows? I don't want this to be a public thing that is being called out for me right now. It's in the exact same way that anyone giving basically any game related compliment at all. It could be that you seem physically fit. It could be that you seem smart, that you're a super fan, that you know things. Those are all negative at the beginning. If you hear anyone say that, especially publicly to you, your instant thought is, no, I don't want to be thought of as a threat in any way. Everyone, to some extent, publicly wants to be like lowering their threat level for the most part. They might be in a group hyping each other up about like, what? Oh yeah. In this squad, I've got I'm the brains or whatever. Like, yeah, we're the meatheads. That might be one thing, but you don't want someone else to call out how you're instantly going to get in a showmance with possibly multiple ladies in the house who want your ass.
To Mary's point, and also I was laughing over here because I'm just imagining Angela like telling me, hey Jacob, you're so sexy. They're gonna want you. Like just like do it, just like some of her like antics that she was doing.
Watch
by the
those
mirror.
hip flexors,
Watch those
Jacob.
hip flexors, Jacob. They're gonna get. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I think the way to play this is either basically what Matt did, which was act really uncomfortable, and then ideally when she leaves the room, go, "Wow, that was like a little harsh. I don't like being, just straight up saying in that moment, like, I don't really like that you're, stereotyping me." Say that, or you immediately need to turn to Angela and be like, maybe it's you, and just joke back at her.
You have to make it like that.
Yeah.
You
gotta
do
do
right.
that. You gotta play into it with her and just be like, "Oh, Angela, maybe I'll be coming up to your room." That's what you need to do.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Maybe that's what. Who knows? But maybe Angela was putting it like on so hard. Who knows what the answer she really wanted?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be down for Matt and
I
Angela
think that's how
showmance.
Dr. Will played it with Nicole in Big Brother 2.
Was
Why does it still
that
feel too soon to talk about that?
Yeah, I don't know. One other note, just in the first act of the episode between then Matt and Angela, we see Matt talking to Kenney, and they're like, "Hey, we should get something going. We should work together." And Kenney is like earnestly like, "It's too soon. We can't. We shouldn't be talking." And then Angela walks in like, "Something you'd like to share with the class, Matt?"
And Matt did a horrible job at recovering that conversation. Matt did a horrible job. He. Angela, like, what's up? Y'all talking game? Let me get in on it. Confused, a Bambi in like headlights.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Didn't go great.
No, not at all.
But Angela was very much like, "You're busted. I got you."
She's been on his ass since day one.
She is. She's getting his ass.
Yes.
But there were some other fun moments from the introductions earlier in the episode, and this is like classic Big Brother. We get people talking about who they think is cute, who they have a crush on, going through the house. We saw then a couple of people had some crushes early on. People thought that Cam was good looking. Cam.
Very good looking.
God
very good
spent
looking.
some extra time on him. He has all of his teeth.
Yes.
Very important. I want to know the people Chelsea have been dating.
Yeah. It seems like that's and this is, I'm trying to remember if Chelsea was in the conversation about this later, but two other people later were talking about how the first thing they notice in someone is their teeth. It was Leah and someone else.
Yeah, it was Leah McKenzie. That's part of another conversation. We'll get there later. But yeah, so that Chelsea doesn't. It's a low bar. Cam, he has all of his teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's good. That's good.
And he was sculpted with a little extra, with some few extra hours thrown in there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, God spent extra time working on him. Okay. Then there was another Mackenzie. No, she noticed Matt. She said that, okay, this could be my type of guy.
Matt's definitely a good-looking guy, tall, dark, and handsome. Definitely think he could be tall enough to ride the ride.
Wow.
Matt is getting all of the sexy puns thrown at him, and he isn't eating it up enough for me.
See, I'm torn between cringing from that comment, but also being like, that's pretty funny, and I wish I was tall so I could say that.
Mm-hmm. Tall enough to ride the ride.
Yeah, I like
that's
it.
Funny. As a roller coaster connoisseur,
enthusiast.
I think that's a good
yes.
one. Yeah.
So now we know who Angela was talking about when she said she knew a couple girls that really wanted Matt. She was talking about Mackenzie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about some of we learned a lot about Big Brother 26. There's a lot going on. We know that there are upgrade comps. We knew who had them, but we had it in the episodes, everybody finding out who has what. We first end up seeing that Mackenzie wins America's veto. Is this for the first 4 weeks, America's veto? What do we think of the chances are that Mackenzie needs to play America's veto in these first 4 weeks?
Needs to. I can see in some ways that she would need to save allies, to save herself, more so to save allies. But I also feel like people should want to use that. I feel like if you have a power in the first 4 weeks, I feel like you would just have this energy like, I have to use it. Like, I cannot just let this power just die and sit if I'm gifted with it.
Yeah.
I think unless you're on the block or your closest ally is, or, really like that, it would really change the numbers. I think probably the smarter move, if you're really trying to be non-threatening, is to not use it, but only in those scenarios. If you happen to be on the right side, only because I think if you use it, it's going to be pretty obvious who had it. So if you're trying to hide it. But if you're on the block or whatever, I mean, like, yeah, if you're on the block, use it. Like, this is a great extra safety net to have. Like, I think I would probably rather have this one than the other power, just because it's like a bonus life.
Mary, do you think there's anonymity with America's veto? Like, if Mackenzie was like really wanting to stir the pot and then just use it randomly and then let America pick a renom, like, would it say that Mackenzie used America's veto?
See, I'd like to say, I think there is anonymity. I think that there will be anonymity of who used it. I don't think they would out Mackenzie, but it would be pretty obvious if Mackenzie's the one taken off the block that it's either her or one of her close allies. I think ideally, I'd love to say that this power would be able to tell people in the house information about who America likes, is rooting for, etc. But we'll just have to see based on how the vote actually goes that, we've seen the online fan base might not actually get to send a signal in the same way that we'd want. So that would be the most interesting outcome, I think, is if the house guests really pay attention to like who got voted.
Well, also, if I'm Mackenzie, I just thought about that because that adds a different element to it. If I'm Mackenzie, I would have much more trepidatious to like use that power, because I'm like, I don't know what side of history I'm on with America, and I don't know if they're rooting for my allies or they're not rooting for my allies or me, and so it could really put yourself in a effed up position. But I think for me, I would love for her to use it.
We found out about Quinn's power, which is the deep fake HOH, which I'm struggling to understand exactly how this is going to work. Jacob, you strip the HOH of all their power. Then you get a deep fake avatar of the HOH, and you control what it says. And you can use this deep fake of the HOH to sow chaos. Any of the first 4 HOHs.
And you get to basically mimic the HOH's voice when delivering messages or something like that around
So
the
I think you
house.
basically tell them, and I don't know if they filmed all of them beforehand in the hologram, but basically they're gonna put like like whatever you say, they're gonna put it in their voice and put them in the hologram.
I mean, that's what's happening in America right now. We have Taylor Swift singing Beyonce songs. We have Elton John singing the Backstreet Boys songs all over the internet because of AI, because of Ainsley.
Yes.
So it's Freaky Friday.
If I catch anybody deep faking an air track, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
Honestly,
leave it alone, Ainsley.
Owe me millions.
I feel like the only way that this is powerful is if it's way too unfair. For example, like if it mimics a person's voice and then they pretend that it's like a leaked diary room session or something, because I'm not unsure how I'm seeing how anyone would believe whatever is said, because all it would take is the person to be like, yeah, I didn't say that. This is clearly some sort of AI thing. Or it's either really, really unfair or really, really not powerful. It's either
it's almost like I feel like going to be like a goof, Mary. I feel like that way.
It feels a lot more like
you know, Quinn ends up like making, I don't know who Quinn would want to end up messing with, but I guess like, okay, let's just, he picks out Angela, and Angela is like, hey, idiots, just want to remind you that you're all a bunch of stupid morons, and I'm better than all of you, and you better not think that you can get me out of the house.
I would hate it if it's that.
Yeah, I feel like the power here is the naming the three noms, and then the other part is just them messing with AI. And it proves what I think, this is probably not a hot take, a lot of AI is mostly gimmicky anyway, currently. A lot. I'm saying a lot. There's probably some useful AI out there. But like a lot of it is like just companies and stuff wanting to be like, look at us, we're using AI. And that's what Big Brother is doing, clearly. Which is pretty funny when you think about it.
Jacob, are there any ways that you're using AI right now?
No, Rob, and I hope it's not using me as well. I don't know. Rob, I don't mess. Rob, it scares me. It scares me like no other, because it can think better than I can. Better than I can. I was about to say could, better than I can. It is, I think it's benefiting society in a lot of ways, but it's also overtaking, and it's making people lazy.
Yeah.
But it's also making people more smarter.
Okay.
I just feel bad for Big Brother, because if anyone watching this thinks that what they're saying is AI, it's just it's not accurate. That's not. This isn't even what AI is.
That's where you're wrong, Mary, because that Jacob brings up a good point that AI is helping people, and Ainsley is here to improve Big Brother. Okay, Big Brother, very responsive to its fan base, and look, Big Brother is not perfect, and I think that people have on occasion had some tweaks that they would want to make. And so what better way to improve the game than to have the Ainsley artificial intelligence try to figure some things out?
I've done extensive research on ways the game of Big Brother could be improved.
And I'm like, okay, go on.
My algorithm detected a reoccurring comment.
Okay. This was, my mind is going a million miles an hour. All right. Big Brother is going to improve a very commonly occurring complaint.
What could it be?
Okay. The very common complaint.
People want a more exciting eviction night.
I mean, I guess.
That's a
that
complaint.
wasn't what I was going to say. It wasn't really in my top 10.
It would have been dope to see them do something with the feeds, though. If they was really listening to their people that tune in on a Sunday, it would have been cool to infiltrate that into it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know what the people are saying, so implement it.
Can I ask another technological related question?
Yes, Mary.
Okay, who is the fake technology for? And I'm not even talking about Ainsley here. I'm talking about the chip that they put in the machine and then they put their hand on the scanner. It's not doing anything. So who is this for? It's not for the players. No one watching this believes that that's doing anything. Why can't they just walk into a room and a screen comes up that says yes or no? Like, why are we? I don't get it.
Stretch. I mean, why are the mascots giant?
Oh no, those are
floppy
great.
disk microchips.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, I even wore my computer chip earrings to go with that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. But we're gonna improve eviction night, and I know that like people don't love the twists, but can I say I kind of like this.
You do?
Is anybody gonna throw anything at me?
Wow.
I
don't know. I think that this is kind of interesting, and maybe maybe it's just that I have not gamed out yet how it will be terrible. And overall, I tend to be. Here's a new piece of information. I'm gonna look at the silver lining here, and I'll tell you the silver lining of why I think this might be interesting is I like the idea of the 3 noms getting there, and the fact that one of them is going to win their way off the block. Yeah. I do think it makes it very hard to get out a specific target. And then you're going to have to really, figure out the pawn game here, unless there are like 3 people you want out of the house. I mean, this person that you're trying to get out, like, may well like come down and have immunity. And now what?
Go ahead, Jacob.
To be honest, Rob, when they said this, it made me think of what they did in Big Brother, I believe 13, when with Brendan and and they had to shoot the balls up and Lawan, like, who'd get back in. Thursdays did get a little bit more interesting because someone that you could be unassuming I'm immediately going to vote the person out. I don't even think they can win a competition. We know the games of Big Brother that they throw. Anyone can actually win a competition. And so it does make Thursdays a little bit more, we don't know what's going to happen. But you know what? You just converted me. I'm on your side now.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on. I tried to unreason with it, but the reason's there. The reason's there for it to be good, to be honest.
I think there are pros and cons, probably just as many as the typical way. I think there's a way of looking at this. The most cynical way is saying, okay, this is basically like Final Four fire making or going to a Final 3. It just gives a person an extra chance to get off the block. Mm-hmm. That's one way of looking at it. I think the problems I mostly see are it's going to make it more difficult when you're on the block for campaigning purposes. And it's going to, I think, have a lot more pile-on votes. I think we have almost no chance of there being split votes because I think almost every...
in recent Big Brother history, Mary, there was no chance of there being split votes anyway.
But I think when people talk about, and the fans talk about wanting it to be more exciting, what they want is they want backdoors that don't get spoiled somehow, and they want there to be more, less just unanimous votes. I think that this is going to make it more unanimous because I think almost every week what we'll have is 3 people where it's going to be one person. Either one person will be basically guaranteed safety saying, look, no matter who you're up against, you'll be safe. The other person will go. Or conversely, out of these 3 people, one person, we're going to definitely hope to get them out. And the only exciting time is if that person then saves themselves in that AI competition. That's kind of the way I see it being. So I think the problem is that each week we're going to have 3 people who are to some extent like cut out of all strategy talk because it's not going to be up. They can't get people to just say, sure, we won't vote for you because it's like, well, we won't vote for you in this scenario, but maybe in the other one.
And again, and clip this and play it when this goes horrible. But I feel like that one of the things that we complain about a lot, and kudos to Ainsley, is that and the house guests, it's like, okay, the week is set by Monday. We have the veto ceremony. The house knows who's going home. Sometimes the house will waffle on Wednesday, but often by Tuesday, Wednesday, we know who's going home. It's a done deal. It's locked up, and we're playing ahead, and we're planning out already what's happening next week, who's going up on the block. And now we're injecting a lot of uncertainty into this. And there are possibilities of where, go back to like last season when there were so many times where, especially in the pre-merge or the pre-jury, that there were a lot of like interesting times where people were up on the block, like big players went home. And, if they had a chance to ultimately save themselves on eviction night like that, I think that would have been very exciting.
Yeah.
My fear is that we're just going to have basically a group of people in the house for however long this twist lasts. And it might be all season. That's going to be, okay, these are the 4 or so expendable people that are at the bottom that we will just keep putting in the nominee chair until they're all gone because we don't want to keep every week nominating 3 new people. I think the way that this is exciting is if we do just basically get tons and tons of people nominated where everyone's having to play and it's a lot harder to avoid the block. That would be fun. And that might happen if we get sort of 2 complete sides of the house form, but that's more rare. The way that it usually works is that there's a larger conglomerate, and this is a way of having more people be at the bottom who can't really campaign or guarantee people voting with them because they also have to tell two people I'm against you, and that's hard. Like I just think that's more difficult. But we'll see. I mean, maybe I could be totally wrong, and I would love to be wrong about this. I would love for it to be exciting.
We'll see. I'm not guaranteeing that this is gonna be good. I'm just telling you why I am at this moment excited about it. And I just think that these Thursday night shows often can be kind of a drag. Like, I do hope if we cut anything, please, Ainsley, if you are listening, cut 13 people voting live. Well, I guess we have no other choice because now we're locked into live voting. But that, like, the live eviction ceremony is like so tedious sometimes, where we got to spend like 20 minutes to get them to go vote.
Rob, you have to ask Ainsley. I never tell AI what to do because I never know when AI will turn around at me. So I'm always like, can you
please?
Yes.
Yeah.
We never know when the robot wants to revolt. So can I and ask, I feel like we'll go a long way.
Yeah. But what about the introduction of Ainsley that for years we had to like work around? Julie Chen Moonves is only there on Thursday. Now we kind of have like a host that's like, they're like, every episode now.
Wait, there a reason we didn't just have like AI Julie?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that better?
I thought it was going to be AI Julie, especially with the little thing they did on social media where it was Julie and then it was AI Julie. I thought that would have been beautiful.
So unless we're going to deep fake Julie, that would mean Julie would still have to work 3 days out of the week and not just show up for the one.
She gets her own avatar too, I guess. I want to see it. Too.
Mm-hmm. Right. Maybe they will use it. But if they had some sort of like I am the Julie Chen AI Chen bot, like I think that would have been more fun than Ainsley.
Yeah, very, very, very true. But also, I feel like the I don't know what the image is of Ainsley before she turns into Ainsley, but I think it's very beautiful, and I do think that adds a nice little accessory to the house, a little bit of sophistication.
Oh yeah, the thing that spins around.
Yeah, I think that's so lavish and luxe.
Yeah, Jacob, did you know on premiere night that the woman they were voting into the house was actually AI?
No, I did not.
No, but she wasn't AI. No. It's a person. That's literally not what AI is.
But you want to know?
What are you talking about, Mary?
Do y'all remember the movie Xenon? Like Xenon?
Yes. Why was she wearing Xenon's outfit?
She looks like she was wearing an outfit from the Xenon movie. I was like, oh, retro fashion. I like it. But no,
to be fair, I didn't notice until night 2, so it's fine.
She wanted to play. She was taking on a human form so she could get into the game. That was her dream, Mary.
I would have sided yes as well, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's fine. Yeah. Look, if you can't even get the big budget movies to understand that hackers do not just go like this and magically things happen, it's fine. AI, this is what AI is now.
This is what AI is.
Okay,
commercialized.
We'll talk about the first HOH comp. One other moment from all these introductions. We saw where Leah was talking with Mackenzie about how she was actually a little let down by the group that they found for this house. We heard it on night number 1, but she's been a little disappointed with these guys.
I'm not gonna lie, like something that's funny. I love like chubby guys.
Really?
I'm like a
little dad bod?
I'm like a chubby chaser.
Yeah.
We needed a Glenn in the house. We needed who are some other
the real Joey Rodriguez.
Yeah. Precisely. We needed some of that. And to be honest, I love that because that shows you what is very unassuming as well. You should never judge a book by its cover. As Angela stereotyped Matt for being handsome, if I would have stereotyped Leah, I would never get chubby chaser. I love to see it.
This could be a really great game move of Leah to tell everyone this. She needs to tell Angela this because then Angela's never going to think that she wants Matt's ass.
So she's like the third wheel with Matt and Mackenzie. So
that's good.
She's like the non-threatening best friend. Never have to worry about Leah.
Yeah.
You know, I like my man extra thick. Like, come on, you know what I mean? You get that. You never have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chicken George. Chicken George. Leah wanted Chicken George. Oh my God.
All right. We got our first HOH comp, and I had been wondering what was the comp that Angela won to become the first HOH. And it's a game called New Rule. Okay. Here we go. We're going to I thought it'd be a little bit more complicated, but it was really okay. Make a team, and now you're playing shuffleboard. I thought, Mary, the thing that was impressive was what's with this LED like table that we got? Did Big Brother spend a lot of money on this?
If they could do that, they could have an actual chip reader, a little hand scanner. It's not complicated. No, I liked the LED shuffleboard table. That was cool.
I hope we can use it for more than just this.
Yeah, maybe for all we know, every single AI arena game will be in that same.
Oh, you think that they spent this, but that's the AI arena.
Yeah,
it's possible. The thing is, the bone to pick I have is with the game being called New Rule. It's like it's not really New Rule. They're trying to be Dropout TV's Game Changer. This isn't Game Changer. This is just you're just playing shuffleboard, but it's like slightly different. And the fact that they considered a round to be pick teams is the best part.
Yeah. All right. So they were doing the shuffleboard. Jacob, how would you do with this?
I would do splendid at it. Anytime I go to it's this bar called Turtles, I love sprinkling the sand. I love making sure my thing slides right where I want it. I'll definitely win. I'll definitely kick Angela's ass, kick Kenny's ass, and kick Leah's ass. Definitely.
Wow. All right. I would love to see it.
Yeah, you can see it. Come out to a bar with me.
Yeah. So, Mary, this was, some dazzling special effects with the LED table, but this did go on for a while.
It did, and this is why I disagree earlier. I think that the mascots were doing a lot. I enjoyed every time.
Cedric has so much energy.
Yeah, that part was so fun. I've always felt like the hosts of the competitions could be doing more. I want them like Jeff Probsting it the whole time, like commentary. Although we heard from Derek that in at least reindeer games that all got cut for screen time. So maybe they wouldn't put it in. But I would way rather have like mascots in the moment commentating rather than people doing like random DR post. Shout outs, loud talking.
Jacob, how would you do as a mascot?
I would do phenomenal. All you need is high energy, a smiley face, and a dazzling personality, I think. I don't know, but I would do splendid. Also, Rob, can we talk about why so many times the people of an older age gets the mom, gets the dad trope constantly? Because I try to put myself in a young person's position if I was in the house. And I'm day 1, day 2 calling a lady that's only 50, like mom. To me, that's like wild to me. And we've got it for so long that the world has progressed to a time outside of that why do we still punch on those little things with people that we just met?
Yeah. Did the house guests call Angela mom, or did she say they could call her mom?
I feel like she said in one of her confessionals, and maybe I'm mishearing it or whatever. I feel like she said, I didn't even want that name. They gave it to me.
Yeah.
And Kenny being dad.
We know that Kenney said, hey, call me Sweet Kenney K.
Yes. The one with the sweet sausage.
Because I got the sweet sausage. They said, no, we'll call you Dad.
Dad. Come on now.
I mean, this isn't a funny comment, but I do wonder if it has to do with the fact that some people a lot of these people don't spend a lot of time with people who are older, who are not their parents. Or family members, because like I feel like a lot of like the hobbies I do and stuff, I'm with people who are in their like 50s or 60s, and I would never think to call them like mama or something like that. Like to me that would be so weird because they're just people. But if you're like in your 20s and the only people you know of that age have been teachers or parents and you don't spend any time with them, maybe that is your instinct. I don't know. Can't
I don't
relate.
know. I would never.
I would feel uncomfortable with it, but to me, that's just too personal. I don't even call my own mom mama, so I don't know.
Oh, I call my mom mama. And you want to know something that I found was, so I've always called my dad like daddy, but anytime, like just when you're younger, daddy, daddy. But me being a 27-year-old man calling my dad, I was on the phone. I was like, yeah, daddy. I was like, wait, that's not what you say, especially after this age. But I just caught myself late, so now I have to change up to dad. But yeah, sad day.
Yeah, I don't think that the players mind it. Like, I haven't seen too many people like push back about it on Survivor or Big Brother, but maybe they should.
I think so.
I think you get it more on Survivor, where people like, I don't want to be the mom archetype because it's just a lower win potential. But I don't know. Although then again, Brooklyn keeps talking about how no married moms have won. So.
I know she does.
No,
she
Brooklyn,
very much so does.
Brooklyn's like, hey, how come nobody's called me the mom?
As a married mother.
Yeah.
She wants to be the hot mama around. Yeah.
As a married mother.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing to say. It's still so odd to me.
Married mother.
Married mother.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right, Angela, she is the HOH. She wins. She's feeling good after that. And so we see a little bit of an alliance coming together. I believe it's Cedric, Chelsea, T-Core, Angela, Joseph are talked about here in this alliance. But this is nothing, right?
I think it's just a big group that just had.
That was nothing. That didn't take.
I don't think it was anything.
Yeah. Okay. So they start talking a little bit. Joseph tells Angela, hey, Matt thinks he's going to go up on the block. I got to let you know. But Matt is thinking you're going to put him up.
Wrong move.
Yeah, and this is where like Matt was just this. I think this clip was a little more either naive or truly like uncomfortable with the comments Angela was making and just trying to open up some people. Like this could have been some basically very early campaigning of like, if she puts me up, it might be for this reason. Don't vote me out because of that kind of thing. I think it's a bad idea to badmouth the HOH before the noms have even been made. But I feel like at least in this clip, it did not feel like Matt was like really coming hard for Angela or anything.
Okay. Well, let's get him up here. All right. Come on up, Matt. Time to talk to Angela. Okay. You've got a meeting with the HOH. Okay. And Angela's like, okay, well, I want to let you know everything is good. And Matt's like, okay. Because like, part of me was like, hey, F around and find out, Angela.
Men are so prideful. He could have just let that go. He didn't have to go there. But I feel like he was already on that time and he's already an amped up guy. That's like, he did say F around and find out. Like, if I'm Angela, I'm like, okay, I'm scared now. It was wild to see.
But
Yes.
at least, and again, maybe some of this is editing, because everything that I had heard about this was from Angela's retelling, where it seemed like Matt like stood up and was like, okay, because I really thought I was going to come after you. And I have all these people. So it's such a bad move to put me up. That's how I thought it was. But it felt similar to Angela when she was like, haha, don't give him a back massage before the competitions are over or whatever. It's the same kind of thing. It's like, this was like a more like he was trying to be like, oh yeah, honestly, I really felt like, I felt like I might have actually been done okay if I had to be put up. So like, this is in a different season. We would tell someone, if you think that you're going to be put up on the block, go up there and try to convince them that it's not worth their time to, put you on the block. But I feel like she really does take this completely out of proportion for what he meant, at least from what we've seen.
Yeah. I think both of them can be wrong. Like, I think that Matt, did not say the right thing here. I think that he, you should not tell the HOH because part of me was like, I'm just going to go rally the votes and I've got all these people. You don't even know how many people I have. So it would have been a bad move for you if you would have done that. But I do not think that this was like the threat that Angela interpreted it to be, Jacob.
No, definitely not. And I feel like even if it was, I feel like that could have been expressed right there to dead it, as I felt like Angela kind of did come into the situation to kind of dead their issues, even though Matt picked up the baton and was like, well, test me, please, in a way that you don't communicate to the HOH. And so both parties took an L in communicating to each other. They just don't work. We've seen it from the beginning of this episode to the end of this episode. They just don't work.
I hope they're the final two.
Same.
Let's do this. Let's do it all summer, Mary.
I need at least a few more weeks of both of them. Like, actually, my biggest fear for entertainment purposes is that Angela leaves like in the next week. Matt leaves this week. Like, that's entertainment. It's just not fun.
It's really, that's, the very sad thing with Big Brother is that often these players that give us so much entertainment in the first 2-3 weeks, so they just like, they burn fast and hot and bright, and they just like rarely see August.
And do I think that's going to happen with either of those two? I think there's a huge chance. Huge. But also something with Angela, if I'm other people and I'm kind of watching the way she moves, especially with what we saw in the first episode, I would be looking at her like, oh, Angela plays too much, and Angela talks too much, and Angela's kind of just too, whatever comes to her is coming out. And I would be extremely nervous just to work with that type of energy and just to communicate information within the house with that type of energy. So I don't know, I'm kind of excited to see how they all navigate Angela in that regard.
Angela also said to Matt, like, I think you're gonna watch this back and you're gonna see you looked really bad just now, threatening me. And I don't think I've ever heard that dropped, Mary, on somebody like instantly.
It's the miscommunication for me, because then I'm surprised that Matt didn't immediately just say, oh, I wasn't threatening you. I was saying that I felt like, it wouldn't be in the best move to do that. It's just, I feel like this would make me, if I was Matt, I would want to be like, you know what, from this point forward, especially after everything else that goes down that wasn't in the episode, I need a third party outsider to be in every conversation so that I can have a witness to what I'm saying. Well, just so that someone else could be like, he wasn't threatening. Actually, I was there. Yeah. Like, Can
you read back the notes, please, of what I said?
What are the minutes to this meeting?
Yes, read back the minutes of the meeting. Because, Jacob, usually in Big Brother, you hear people say, like, when you watch the show, you're going to look so dumb because it's like, okay, I'm not lying. You'll see. It's like, this would be like if we got into a disagreement. I'm like, go back, and when you listen to the podcast tomorrow, you're gonna see, like, you looked very bad.
Yeah, and to Mary's point, I don't know why it didn't clock in for Matt as well. Like, Matt, immediately when she would have said that, I would have said, wait, no, let me, anything that I threw out to make you confused about the guy that I am right now and the guy that you're misinterpreting me as, let me clear it up all right now. But he didn't. He stayed looking at her the same way she was looking at him, both stunned and confused at this conversation, as was I.
Anything else from the episode tonight before we talk a little bit about the live feed action from the weekend? I guess there was Quinn.
Yeah, that was the other one.
Yeah, Quinn ends up telling Angela, okay, look, I got to tell somebody about the power. Quinn was very fun in the episode. He tells Angela, I've got the power. I've got the deep fake HOH.
I love Quinn telling us, though, is like, look, I've learned, like, yeah, the HOH, this seems like the perfect person to come buddy with. Yeah, on paper, that makes sense. I feel like maybe what we should learn in the future is it's perfectly fine to be buddies with them. It's not good to spill all your secrets to them before you can wait and see how the first week plays out to see if they are sleep deprived.
And I think spending 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours is really getting to these people where they're thinking, okay, I can trust this person with my life at this point. And it's crazy to me that, Quinn, you got this power that could change the entire game. You only have 4 weeks to use it. And the person that you're telling is the person that's about to stir up some of the most shit we've seen in most recent Big Brother years. And good on you. I want to see how this unfolds. I want to see you putting your trust in Angela and keeping her mouth and her emotions to herself will be for you.
Yep.
And I also feel like there was some really cringy moments, at least for me, where Quinn clearly thought that Angela was trying to stand up for a hug, but then really she just moved to a different couch. And I was like, oh, that was so awkward. And that would be me. And I feel like at that point, you kind of just have to keep going with it. You'd be like, no, let's hug it. Let's hug it.
Yeah, we have to. We have to hug it. We have to.
The BB guns people love these little hand symbols that they need for alliances. That's fine.
Well,
Also,
I don't feel like there's been BB guns. I do feel like that there's been about 38 alliances that like the alliance comes with with shooting guns.
And didn't we just have like the 6 shooters? Wasn't that a thing? We don't. Okay. At least they didn't put a number on their alliance, but whatever. I guess it's just the 2 of them.
Also, we should see. I don't know if we could take a poll, but I do wonder because we do get on the first episode or the first couple episodes often the all women alliance.
Oh yeah,
push. And we always get it's never worked in the past. All right, that's enough content of that. Like it just never takes off.
Yeah.
And so with
Rabina, Chelsea, Mackenzie, Brooklyn.
Is it going to be something this
I don't
time?
think so.
I don't think so. I did appreciate that Rabina specifically said we don't need everyone.
Yeah.
We can't just bring everyone in. But I don't know if she actually meant we can't bring all the women in. I don't know. Like the whole
Don't bring Angela in.
Don't bring Angela in.
I think there's the way of doing the Women's Alliance to start is just to be like, hey, we should just like try to not have any women on the block the first week. Wouldn't that be fun? And just start there. Just start there and then see what happens later. Play it out.
Yep. All right. One of these days, Mary.
One of these days. It's so sad though, isn't it though? Because why can't this? It's been years of it being talked about in seasons after seasons of the same language being exchanged between the women in the house, and nothing can come from it other than, well, like it's wild. It's wild. I hope one day that we really get it. It'll be one of the most powerful things, I feel.
I think when it works, it's going to be that they're not going to call it a women's alliance. They're just going to have like 3 women who get together and be like, yeah, this is our thing. This is our
really
group.
mess with each other.
Yeah,
That's what it
it's the
is.
3 of us. The end. There's no reason. We have nothing in common except it's just the 3 of us.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready? Should we talk about some feed stuff?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So we won't do like a full deep dive, but just a little check-in for the feeds. If you are dropping out here, we will have another episode live Wednesday night after the episode, 10:15 p.m. Hope to see you there. But in the meantime, for the first time in BB25, let's talk about. Oh, sorry, it's BB26. My bad. I opened up my soundboard and it's still called BB25. The spoilers.
The Office of Civil Defense has issued the following message. This is
a spoiler.
Warning.
A spoiler.
Warning means that an
I
actual
wish I knew where the buzzer
against
was.
this country has been detected, and that protective action should be taken.
All right. All right. What a weekend.
Yeah.
Angela went nut.
Tick, tick, boom.
Yeah. It's so funny too, because this is one of the first times where so much of the drama has nothing to do with any of the noms so far. At least up until this point. At least up to now. And while there's been some back and forth, there's been some ups and downs, we are not even guaranteed that the drama is going to result in someone getting on the block who's involved with this. It might, but yeah. So if you've been listening to any of Taran's updates, you know the Matt and Angela thing from the clip we saw tonight has spiraled out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, and then along with the other big thing, because you know what we've seen in Big Brother, there are these moments where when they happen, you would never guess what kind of blow up's going to happen. You could say good morning to someone or not say good morning to someone, and it could be a big deal. If you don't hug the HOH after nominations have been made, that means something.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Huge.
Big deal. Yeah. So, because the HOH, the one in power, they're the one who needs to be hugged. It's so difficult.
And even if they don't expect it, it would still be nice for them.
Yes. And even if you tell them, I was just naive, I didn't know you wanted a hug, you knew what you were doing, didn't you?
You knew.
So yeah, if you want to get completely caught up, you got to watch all the clips of Angela's speech monologue.
I would say monologue is more accurate.
On the stairs, yes.
To Matt.
To Matt, where she calls Matt out for threatening her and for being cocky and all of those things that we saw tonight in the very, very threatening, aggressive scene where Matt did that to a poor mother who is sleep deprived. That's the other thing. You have to know that they're sleep deprived, even if they don't necessarily tell you in that moment that they are. So that's important.
It was a wild lead up, Mary, because, I'll have the feeds on, but I'm not like following like them super closely, but they're always on here somewhere. And I was up early on Saturday morning and I see Angela like in bed and I hear her talking. I'm like, this is so unusual because it's like 4:00 in the morning, Big Brother time. And she's just talking to herself in bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Angela is me in that moment. Angela was me in that moment. You don't know how many times I know something is coming and I'm just replaying. Okay, this is what they would say. This is what I would say. Angela gave no room for nobody else to talk. It was her moment and her moment only.
Angela strikes me as the kind of person who, even if she had gotten some sleep, which she didn't, but if she had gotten some sleep, she might have had a dream where someone said something mean in her dream and she thought that was real and then was mad at them for real.
Catch it.
That could happen.
That could happen.
Yeah. So to catch you up on today, the other thing that Angela has said to Matt is that she called out his mom, that she thought that his mom was not going to be proud of him for the way that he was playing and what he was doing, et cetera, making it personal. That upset him as well. So Angela has decided, you know what, it was not right of me to do that, and it was not right of me to lump Mackenzie into this situation as well. So she's got to apologize to Mackenzie first, and then recruits Lisa because Lisa has won the veto. So we got to recruit Lisa. And Lisa,
I want to talk about the veto and the vote also tonight.
Yeah. So Lisa's basically assistant HOH at this point.
Hey, look, sometimes you're the assistant to the thing, and then all of a sudden you're the main thing.
Exactly.
Honestly,
that can happen.
That can happen.
It's like, I don't think the HOH has what it takes anymore. Like, I don't know, make the assistant the thing.
Yeah.
Yep. So Lisa, it's very funny the conversation that goes on. Lisa is really just trying to get down to like, hey, why did I end up on the block? Who was mean to me? But meanwhile, Angela's like, but what do I do about this Matt situation? I need advice. I need help. And so Lisa's like, look, just like put Matt up. It's fine. You clearly are against him. Like, I'm coming down, put him up. That's fine. But if you don't want him to go because Angela still wants Kenney to be the one going home, then at least, tell him that he's going to be a pawn, or tell whoever the replacement is that they're a pawn. So Angela's going to go talk with Matt, and they apologize, and Angela explains the whole thing about not hugging, and he talks about his mom and their life and how he's not even here for the money. And we get to this point where, Angela's like, they're really bonding, and she's really seeming to understand. They're crying about this. Everything's great. Matt leaves the room. Angela looks up the camera. Are you kidding me? So now I'm like, hold on. Thought we just had a good chat. No. That was all an act by Angela. Even though she was crying to Lisa, even though she really wanted to. She was acting, and not even in a low budget movie.
No, not in a low budget.
Give her the award. So that's that part. But part of that conversation that she had with Matt, it was this whole thing of her saying, well, look, if I don't put you up, I need you to find me a pawn. I need you to find me a pawn. Okay. I need you to be in the room telling them, why they're a pawn and stuff and all this. And he's like, he's kind of like, look, I'd rather just go up and take my chances with the competition than try to find this pawn for you. But I don't know, maybe, I think maybe T-Core has the prize or whatever, the power. So maybe her. So Angela gets it in her mind that he's going to go convince T-Core to be the pawn. She doesn't do at all. But she sees T-Core on the camera talking to Cam. And so her mind goes, Matt must have convinced Cam to tell T-Core to be the pawn. And she's like, no, T-Core, don't do it. Don't be the pawn. Hold your ground. Play your game. And it's like, first off, Angela, you could just not nominate her.
Yeah.
It's simple.
You have that power. Second off, why on earth would T-Core agree, not even with some sort of deal with the HOH, but with Matt to be the pawn? Makes no sense. But anyway, she's convinced herself of this, and she doubles down convincing herself of this when T-Core comes in and doesn't talk about it at all. Because the most, the way to really, really guarantee that a thing has happened is if no one talks about it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so that happens. Now she's mad at Cam too.
Unsaid is sometimes more powerful than what's actually said.
Because Cam has now
subtext.
betrayed her to also try to get T-Core on the block. Remember, none of this has actually, to our knowledge, happened. But this is what Angela thinks has happened.
But maybe deepfake happened.
Maybe. Meanwhile, what actually has happened is that Matt has gone to Tucker and been like, yeah, Tucker, didn't you wanted to like, you like battle it out and play some competitions and stuff. So why don't you, maybe, do you want to go on the block or whatever? I don't actually know. I'm paraphrasing because I didn't actually see that conversation. But based on what Tucker says later, he's like, and Matt wanted me to be the pawn. How dare he? That guy wants me to get out of the house. This is so bad. And so Angela goes to talk to Tucker, and Tucker's like, Matt wanted me to be the pawn. And she's like, what? So he wants you and T-Core to go up? And he's like, wait, what? What about T-Core? Hold on. So that's where we're at.
Okay. So what's happening at the veto ceremony tomorrow?
Lisa, who may or may not be the real HOH at this point, just thinks that Matt should go up. Because Lisa's also actually over here trying to be like, wouldn't it be great if there were no women on the block? That would be pretty great. And I don't think it would be very nice or fair to put any of the have-nots up there. Oh, who does that leave? Maybe Matt, the one that we're all mad at anyway. Why not just him? So that seems like it would be the easiest plan. I'm very confused of why Angela both thinks that Matt is lying and is so against him, but also doesn't want him to go home and possibly not on the block, even though Matt told her that he still might put her up next week. He's not guaranteeing her safety or anything. There's no quid pro quo here, so it's very confusing.
Yeah. Jacob, do we have any sense of if Matt sits on the block on Thursday, would he go home?
I feel like Matt would go home. Just because I feel like even having Tucker on you.
And don't forget AI Arena also. We don't know what that competition could look like. Could be physical. Could be something that's a little bit more of a mental comp.
That makes Thursday nights even better. We don't know actually then.
Yeah.
I have no way. No way of knowing.
Okay. All right. A full recap of everything from Sunday will be happening on the live feed update coming up on Monday. Mary, amazing job taking us through the highlights of today.
It's wild, and I'm very excited that this is where we've started this season off because, there was a time when we would have missed all of this on the feeds. And so at least we're getting the early goods, which is good.
Also, there was a time that we did night one move-ins where we could have seen all of this that kind of led up to this unedited as well. So
would have been too hard to explain the whole AI thing.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else in the world of BB26 to talk about tonight?
Definitely, it can't be said enough how important these morning updates are now with the no rewinding and pausing. So definitely utilize those. I'm sure everyone here listens to those anyway, but like those are going to be doing the AI Lord's work this season.
Taran and the updaters doing an amazing job so far. And also Edward says in the chat, I need to say it again. Rob, Mary, and Jacob are an incredible trio. They are cracking me up.
I love it.
Yeah, very fun panel tonight, for sure. We've got much more Big Brother 26 coming your way. Make sure you are subscribe to everything we're doing. If you're watching us here on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's the only way you could talk in the chat. So make sure you're ready for that. Then go to robhasawebsite.com/BB26 to subscribe to our Big Brother feed, however you get your podcasts. Then we had the Slop coming up Monday night. Chappelle and I are going to be live, 6 p.m. Patrons. You'll get the link to watch it live. And, of course, you'll hear it in the Patron podcast feed, along with the BB Q&A, which I do with Taran every week, plus much more when you become a patron of Rob Has a Podcast. Then I posted another Survivor 46 interview. Tiffany Nicole Irvin and I had a nice chat about her game. Very fun. If you're looking for some Survivor 46 interviews, you know where to find them. Check out that interview with Tiffany. Then over on Nothing But Netflix. Busy weekend for me. Nothing But Netflix. Chappelle had never seen Back to the Future. It's on Netflix this July. And so we did a little one of Rob's picks, and at some point I'll watch one of Chappelle's favorites that I haven't seen on Netflix. But you don't want to miss Chappelle's first experience with Back to the Future. Also on RHAP, I watched 1996's Twister, and Akiva watched the brand new Twisters.
Yeah, I just saw that yesterday. New Twisters.
What'd you think, Mary?
It's pretty good. It's better than I thought it'd be. A lot
For
more
me,
destructive than I thought it would be having seen the original.
Yeah. For me, Twister and Twisters, they were unseen.
Is that a pun?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a pun?
Yes. The Twisters, Twister and Twisters, Jacob, are that
I've never seen it.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so it is unseen to me.
It's unseen. It's unseen to you too. Okay. All right. This is a big one. Okay. Everybody's been talking about Love Island, and Kirsten and Scally have been doing incredible work on the Hot Dummies on Islands, talking about Love Island. And so, what a great way to end the season when we used them. They had a guest. We used America's veto, got the first guest out of there, brought in America Lopez to talk with Kirsten and Scally about the Love Island finale. I believe that is dropping tomorrow night. So you will definitely want to hear what America had to say. You can hear that in our Hot Dummies on Islands feed. And then be sure to check out everything we have going on over on Patreon. Great time to jump in at robhasawebsite.com/patron. Okay, Mary, what's coming up for you?
Big Brother 26.
Great. We love it.
This is what we're doing. We're here, it's the summer. Gotta love some Big Brother. So
you want any updates soon, Mary?
I don't know. not in the next couple days, but probably eventually, but I'll probably be in the chat for at least some of them. Oh, okay. Sam says I will be at some point. So there we go.
At some point. All right.
At some point.
Okay. Sam also says same with you, Jacob.
Same with me, baby. I figured Big Brother season's back, which I love. And also this season has a certain level of attraction for me that a couple seasons didn't have, especially at the beginning. And so I'm very tuned into this season. Other than that, making music. If you want to listen to me, I go by artist name Air, H-E-I-R, not A-I-R.
Where's the best place for people to check out your music?
Best place for people to find my music would be on my Instagram at Air, H-E-I-R.sound, or you can go to my Twitter at JacobJ_Jones, or my Spotify, all Air, or my Apple Music, everywhere. Yeah, we got a ton of music dropping these next 3 months. So
okay. You're dropping tracks left and right?
I'm dropping 5 tracks, could be 6 if I really like the other one.
Videos? You have video on everything?
I have 2 more videos coming, and I'm taking photos for an EP I'm dropping in October or September. So a lot of stuff in the works.
Okay. All right. The super talented Air, a.k.a. Jacob Jones.
AKA
This was
Jacob
such a
Jones.
treat tonight. Thank you both so much. And thanks so much to the chat. We love to hear your comments here on YouTube, and we appreciate it when you hit that like button here to let other people know that this was a good video to check out. We've got plenty more BB26 coming up on Monday. Have a great night. Sam is also saying, yes, the round table will be Tuesday night at 8. If you're wondering in the chat, when will the round table be? Tuesday night at 8. Okay. So thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.